So, hello, Marco.
Hello, Charles.
It is lovely to see you, and I am so grateful that you are a part of this journey through explorations of research and creation.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. I'm excited to speak a little bit about this.
So great, so great, so great. So, our viewers and listeners and watchers have seen a little blurb about who you are, including that you're a former gymnast and professional circus artist and a PhD and postdoc and all of those things. So, so with that in mind, though they've seen all these things, what do we really need to know about Marco Bartoleto?
Oh my, that's so difficult. But oh, yeah, I'm considering myself as a sport man. I like sports, any kind of sports. So I have contact of different sports, but I'm a very enthusiastic person about acrobacy. So
Mhm.
everything that involves acrobatics makes me crazy. So I love to see people doing this and maybe human beings doing crazy things. That's the thing makes me crazy. And all
This
of this is involved in my professional and personal activities.
so brilliant. I love that that is the answer. I love this. That's the thing that we need to know about Marco. So as we're moving this along, it's true. It's about this exploration of research and creation. I'm going to ask you a question that I'm asking everyone. What's your definition, crazy Marco, of what creation is? Do you have a definition?
Not really. Yeah, I spent years and years reading and working with different people and trying to understand creation, research, innovation, all these things
Yeah.
that makes or brings together when you try to understand this. And for me, when we come to arts in general, research, creation, all of this should be together. And to be honest with you, if we have to speak more about research creation or creation research, it's because we are not doing that. In my mind, all these are completely connected. It's not possible to create something in any field of knowledge, including arts, if you are not researching, and vice versa. So yeah, I feel like we are now trying to go back and start to rethink what we are doing because we miss something in our way. We miss creativity, and we also miss some researching process, but they should be together, and they should be every time we do arts or we teach or we do things that we love.
Wow. So there's a challenge. There's a challenge to us all. So yeah, my question, which was going to be what's creation, what's research, and you said no, it's always and forever together. Do you see that happening in your universe? You see that this is now connected to because you have put us together to get to know what's happening in Brazil. And I am learning through you and other people with us are going to be learning maybe a little bit more what's happening in Brazil. Are you seeing these things happening? What do we need to know about circus arts and creation research in Brazil?
Unfortunately, not every day and not always.
Uh,
I think we are very much involved in this society that breaks or separate things. And some people consider themselves as a researchers, and some people consider themselves as a creators. As I said, I see those things in a very um, together way. So it's mixed, it's merged. But I don't see every time in circus, but in any other art form performing. But to make me happy, we still have a lot of people doing this in a very good way. And that's why when we start to speak about this, I said, oh, I know some people that I believe they are doing this as a part of their work. So I don't think they're really thinking about be creative and research, but they're doing without realize they do. So it's a very spontaneous thing. And for me, as more we do it spontaneously, better will be.
Love it. So you pointed us in the direction of Maria Toledo and Naomi Silman and the Lume Teatro. Um, why specifically those two? You've just now given a mention that you know them as sort of shining examples of people who are doing creation research blended. Tell me specifically why Murillo. We'll start there. Why specifically Murillo?
Oh, it's so difficult because as I told you before, it could be some other people. We have so many different and good people around here, in particular in Brazil. In the beginning, I did a list, a long list of names and possible guests, and it was very difficult to choose. Oh, who should be there? Because there are many. In the case of Murillo, I think he is a young person and also a very enthusiastic artistic person. He's always is looking for something different and trying to connect himself with different art forms, different environments, different people. And for me, this is a key point for research, but also for creativity. When you escape from your bubble and you start to dialogue with different communities, different people, different disciplines, as much diversity you have, I think easier is to understand research and creativity comes together.
Oh, brilliant. Our viewers and our listeners will be seeing that in the conversation with Murillo. I love what you just now said. Naomi, tell me about Naomi. What's the magic about Naomi
Wow,
in your eye?
she's a beautiful human being and a very strong artist. And she's involved in, I would say, one of the best physical theater group I know in Brazil. And they have a particular way how to do things because they they are considered a research group of people, 7 artists, and they are connected to our university. But in the same way, the role they have is to be artists, professional artists. So they still act as a professional artist, but they have this role at this responsibility at the university to produce research on physical theater. And this combination is quite unique. It's quite difficult to keep going on at this direction. And Naomi, it's a kind of person who can mix some clowning things, some very technical and strong physical theater techniques, and put all this together when she came to the public, and you get very impressed about how strong can be this tiny lady.
Mm, yeah. Oh my gosh. So along the way, I'm hearing as well among the interests that Marco has in the crazy. But also, we're starting to see maybe some filling out of the definition of what this research creation actually might be. It's this richly textured, physical kind of thing as well. I'm intrigued by where you're taking us, Marco. Question to follow up in that. There are other people, they're watching us, they're taking notes. Perhaps what would you say to other people who are interested in doing this thing called research creation, this challenge that you've laid down in front of us? What's your recommendation? How do people do this now?
I think we are speaking a lot to be very systematic and to establish a methodology how to work. And I'm not against this. I think it works many times to develop your method, how you want to work and who you want to have around you to support this creation and also the research you have to do it. But I think we have to keep space for something that you cannot predict. You cannot really be systematic. So for me, it's a combination between a very rational way how to think, but also in the other side, a very crazy and anarchical way how to think. When you have this good balance, some days you are more systematic, you organize better what you're doing, and some other days you feel like, oh, I'm completely lost, and I'm dealing with knowledge I don't have control, or I'm trying something that I even don't know what is this. But in the end, these combinations, or this combination makes you to reach a very nice ending.
Oh, am I hearing you tell us, Marco, that it's okay to sometimes feel lost? That it's sometimes okay to struggle with the process?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you feel the same every day is because your behavior the same way every day. If you feel different sometimes, having controls about the things you're doing, but sometimes without any control about things that are happening, it's good. And the thing is how you deal with that and how you control yourself and how you digest these feelings. I know, like improvisation, when you have less control or when you expose yourself more, the feeling can be not nice and you can feel uncomfortable. But I think to really develop good research and good creation, uncomfortable times are necessary. But in the end, you also have time to organize yourself and to put things under control and then develop yourself step by step without pressure. And that's the last point I would like to bring here.
Tell
And
us.
I think we are fighting against the time. And this society we are living that accelerates everything is not good for research, it's not good for operation. So, and that's exactly my point. Some companies, artists, they have a very short time to develop what they want. And I don't think this is a good aspect to guide you in this field.
Wowza. So not only did we start with a challenge, we end with a challenge, Marco. I love it. I love it. I love it. There will be more. People will be discovering these artists that you pointed us in the direction to, and we'll be discovering more about your own work and what's happening in Brazil. And let me thank you. Thank you, Marco, for being here.
Thank you so much. And thank you for including the South, Brazil, and all the people we have in the South. They're doing wonderful thing. And I really believe that we need to bring more and more of these people together, the South to the North, the East to the East. So as much we build these meeting points, better will be for arts in general. So thank you so much for having me here.